Multiple times in the Bible, God is compared to a potter and we are compared to the clay. And sometimes when the potter is reforming the clay or shaping the clay into its final product, the potter will cut off pieces of the clay and sometimes will completely reform other parts of the clay product. So in order to get to the final product, God also has to fire the clay in a kiln, which is like super heat treatment to like bake the clay. So that can also represent our like challenges in life, but God is always still there. And a lot of times, to keep the clay from exploding, the potter has to keep a very close eye on the clay and keep checking on the clay. But the parts that are cut off from the clay can be things like addictions. They can be things that you have to let go of, because Jesus even tells us that if we lose our lives for Him, we will find it. But if we don't lose our lives for Him, then we will lose them anyway. But once we form our new identity in Him, once we are formed in the new creation in the body of Christ, because Jesus adopts us into the family, then we are made new. We lose our lives for Him. We lose our earthly desires, our heart's desires, for example, for God. Because when we serve God, because of that, we get a lot more freedom than if we didn't do that, because our earthly desires prior to that were hidden chains, keeping us down, keeping us from the freedom that we can receive in Jesus. So, yeah, and God's timing will always be right. So, patience is very, very important, and we can ask God for that. We can ask God for anything, and His answer isn't always yes, but it's for the greater good. God's will works for the best of those who love Him.